Okay, defining slavery. What is slavery? You know, slavery is about control. You know, as you can see, slavery is about control, and it's about harming people. Doing harm to other people to put fear on is what slavery means. To put fear. For best example, like I've been saying on my last video, is the ones who feel that everybody should suffer. You know, the backwards minded fuckers out there who say, having a job, is part of life, which is really, it's not part of life. Having a job is not part of life, really. I mean, that's a delusional minded person, because it's really negative to say that, to believe in that, to put in faith in that. Having a job, slave, being a slave to somebody who profits is not really part of life. It's not really positive. Because the one who profits is the one who are the control freaks. The ones who control every aspect part of your life, making you live in the lives of their lives, which is not really, if you're born on a planet, your life should be fulfilled in your own perspective, in your own way, and what you believe that life should be. Everybody's life is, yeah, we are individuals, but we all have different settings of what our lives are. And there's no high or low. There's no such thing as being high or low. No one should be above anybody in this reality. Because that's another delusional thing to say, if you want to be above. And then no one should profit of it. No one should profit off of anybody. No one should profit off of anyone, because those are the ones who are creating the most fear off of everyone. And that's a negative right there. To be a slave, is when you is when somebody that profits, that pushes you so hard, and has no sympathy for your own life. And if you don't say anything about being pushed hard, then it's funny if you don't say nothing. You can't say nothing to these uh, profit making psychopaths, because they don't want you to say anything. They don't want you to. When they push you to your limits, and you say, and you want to keep your job. It's like having a gun in your fucking head. It's like having a gun in your fucking head, and you got to pay your bills, and you got to pay your fucking taxes. Terrorism. Anybody who profits for greed and consumption of resources would be the true terrorist. I'm just being blunt, and then the poor people have to suffer because these terrorists, the ones who terrorize humanity, and pushing them to their limits, and knowing that we all have to make this stupid living. of paying our bills. The true terrorism. I, I made a video a long time about this and erased it. The true terrorism is the one who profits. And the ones who terrorize are the ones who support the ones who profit. Anybody. It doesn't matter who you are, what color you are. It doesn't matter, because the ones who profit and pushes you to your limits and makes your life miserable would be the true terrorist, the true terrorist. The true they became the devils, the ones who profit. They became the devils, and the ones who follow them became the demons. That's why we live in this negative world, because we all believe that we have to paying, contracts and all that bullshit. And I'm gonna keep on saying this a lot in my video about ones who profit, because until they realize, there's no equality in the ones who profit, the ones who believe the ones who's profiting are the ones who's living the easy life, living the better life than the ones who are struggling and pushing their limits for these people. And the ones who profit has no compassion. They have no compassion. They don't even have you talk about being a robot with no compassion. And you talk about the AIs, the ones who profit are becoming the AIs themselves, because their perfect reality is going to be the AIs, a robotic nature, because in a robotic nature, you don't have a conscience. You don't have. You could be pushed as much as you want, and they want the perfection. They want this and everything to be perfect, and they want to make their profit as much as they can. Because in the future, artificial intelligence is coming. Artificial intelligence is coming, and it's gonna combine with us, even though we're almost like a robot ourselves in this robot environment, but we're not, we're dysfunctional in a way too. We're so reliant on working. Why do we need to work? Why can't we enjoy life? It's like, why does work have to be priority for us? Why can't we just develop things on our own? Not relying on corporations and relying on these fucking control freaks and psychopaths. Develop a culture where it relies on itself, and only a person who believes in the economy and believes in this robotic kind of culture, is a fucking dysfunctional person. Ones who believe in their own perfection and in their working environment, that believe that slaves should be perfect. Your slave have to be so perfect in the production of making bullshit materialistic things. Slavery. The ones who profit wants a perfect slave for them. They want to push their slave so hard. So when they push, but sooner or later they're going to give up the slave, and then the AI is going to come in, or they're going to combine the AIs with us to make us a really perfect slave. You know, my question is, why do we have to work? Why can't we just function as a one big huge family and not rely on work and function together? Why can't we function as a family unit? Not a unit, but a family instead of fucking individualism, you know? Yeah. In America, we have backwards thinkers. We have backwards people that believes in we don't take care of our own. We don't. We look at we are enemies. We are our own enemies in America. You know, because we always have to make profit on everything. So yeah, why can't we be a family instead of fucking enemies?